Hi everyone, welcome to Skylight Tarot. I hope everyone is doing great. So the topic for today is, what do you think is happening versus what is really happening in this connection? So if this is something that is of interest to you, please stay tuned with me and we shall get started. Please know that this is a general, collective and timeless reading. So take the messages that are resonating with you and leave out what is not resonating with you, okay? Right. I'm just gonna sip water real quick. What do you think is happening versus what is really happening? Pile number one. We have apology. We have rushing. And we have losing yourself. This is what is coming across. So we have apology. I'm going to give you a closer look at your cards. And that says never underestimate the power of a heartfelt apology. This is for pile number one. Pile number two is rushing. You can't hurry love. The right one is coming in the perfect divine timing. This is for pile number two. And we have losing yourself. You feel lost in your partner. It's okay to be yourself and have your own life too. That's for pile number three. Okay, so these are your options and these are your cards. But just in case you need some additional help, here goes your zodiac signs. So pile number one, Taurus, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Pile number two, Aries, Scorpio, Capricorn, and Cancer. Pile number three is Sagittarius, Leo, Virgo, and Pisces. All right, so you can go by your sun sign, moon sign, ascendant sign, any sign, just in case you don't know which sign to connect with. Just go by your birthday, okay? Hey pile one, so those of you who resonated with apology and your zodiac signs are Taurus, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. We are checking what do you think is happening versus what is really happening. So what do you think is happening? I'm going to treat this card as what do you think is happening. Perhaps you would want them to apologize. Perhaps you want to apologize. What is really happening in this connection? Okay, so this one wants to come out. We have divine timing. Which says trust in divine timing. Love arrives when it's meant to. Maybe what is really happening is both of you or your person is waiting for the right time to come by. What does pile one thinks is happening in this connection? We have delight, which is number 13. What is really happening in this connection? We have number 30, which is presence. I just wanted to check. Let's see. What are the connecting energies of this connection? What are the connecting energies of this connection? What are the connecting energies of this connection? My God, again we have apology, forgiveness, return, sorry. So everything it looks like is based on an apology. The delight here sort of represents, more of you guys moving forward, letting past be in the past, let bygones be bygones, and let's just move forward with love, with a good feeling. This to me sort of gives me a lot of Ace of Cups sort of a vibe, this delight card. So your connecting energy is also apology, okay, and this is also apology, okay. What is really happening is both of you are holding space for each other, right? With this presence card here, no one is moving on, neither you nor this person. No one is moving on. You guys are not open to seeing other people. You guys are not open to believe that this connection is over. And we do have divine timing, which sort of represents that there is something bigger is at play. Perhaps you guys have surrendered that if it's meant to be, we guys will gonna come together. Okay, so let's just check through tarot what is coming up. But the unique fact is that from this deck it's apology, from the other deck it's apology. Okay, so the need to apologize about something is bigger so that you guys can have a fresh start. One of you could be waiting for the other person to come in. Pile number one, what do you think is happening in this connection? We have Nine of Cups. What do you think is happening in this connection? Pile number one. We have Seven of Cups. And we have Queen of Pentacles. There is a high possibility that you are kind of focused on yourself. Pile number one. We do have Nine of Cups and we do have Queen of Pentacles, which sort of represents, focusing on oneself. What do you want? What is your wish? And what you're manifesting is make how your wishes can come true. With Queen of Pentacles, it's more like a very nurturing, self-focused energy. Very grounded energy as well. Like you are someone who's now very grounded. You're no longer confused. You're no longer in those energies where you are not sure about what this connection is, how to take it forward. Is this the person for me? Is this not the person for me? No, you're kind of grounding yourself now. Grounding yourself because you're kind of opening up your heart chakras, and all these cups sort of represents emotions, and see how there is an enlightenment towards surrounding their heart chakra, and you're kind of attracting abundance. So this confusing energy you're definitely let go of. You're no longer in this confusing energy. You're very grounded, and what you think is that both of you have realized that you guys are meant to be, and both of you are ready to work on this relationship. You guys are not exploring other options. Like I said, with the Seven of Cups, it also represents having different options, and you are not exploring other options. You guys realize that both of you are each other's wish fulfillment. Let's see what is really happening in this connection. What is really happening in pile one's connection? We have Five of Pentacles. We have Ace of Pentacles. What is really happening in this connection? And we have two of swords. One second, I really need to look at this card. There are a lot of elements which are coming in. It looks like that, see, the potential is definitely there, but someone is not ready to look at that potential. Someone is not ready to accept it, right? Maybe they have to apologize to you and they are not ready to accept it. While they can very well sense your presence in their mind, they can very well sense that you are also holding space for them and they are also holding space for you. But when it comes to literally come forward and offer you that pentacle, that's something that's tangible, that is not coming into picture. So we do have five of pentacles here, right? And everyone here is in this cave working with this hot molten lava sort of a structure to design pentacles, right? While they can just step out, but they are not ready to look at it. They have the necessary resources available, they have abundance waiting for them, but they are too much caught up in this hardship, too much caught up in this, I would say, their own negative emotions, that they're kind of shut down. And if they look further away, they see, I mean, if you guys can just notice, these are the crystals which are here, and in Ace of Pentacles there is a crystal here. So that pentacle is basically this crystal. If they can choose to look out of the cave, that's always there, but because of their own insecurities, they are emotionally detached. They are not looking at the brighter side of the story, and hence they are stuck. So when I talk about all these things, like what is happening is this feeling of stuckness is something that needs to go away. And there is a divine push which is kind of necessary here. And I do feel with this presence here, this presence could be more about having enlightenment, you know, being cognizant of the fact that they have to work on something. I feel this is more like universe orchestrating the awakening within this person so that they can get in touch with their own emotions, because so much of stuckness, so much of detachment can only surface the emotions so much that they're forced to basically heal and accept them. I do want to clarify the presence here. Clarify presence. The Fool, which is more like a divine guidance. Fool also represents, having that unflinching faith and then moving forward. So this person needs to learn to actually surrender and not let their own emotional detachment and their limiting beliefs drive this connection. Let's see what is delight here. Clarify delight. Four of Swords, and it fell in reverse. And we do have Ace of Swords here. So this sort of represents Four of Swords in reverse, which is about you are now ready to take action. You are now well rested, and now you would want to take action. You have clarity. Okay, now I have little bit of thing also left. What is this apology? Why do they have to apologize? Clarify apology. This person was basically a narcissist, maybe. This person has kept you stuck. Maybe they have misbehaved with you. Because devil card is not a good card. And certainly, if this person has acted like a devil, the apology is necessary. Hmm, not very good energies. Okay. So the crux of the story is you feel that this if this person comes forward and they apologize, you are ready to let it all go away, you are ready to forgive them, and you can have your new start. And you feel that once they come forward and apologize, that's when this person is very much grounded, right, very much clear about what do they want from you, and that is a commitment, because Queen of Pentacles also sort of represents nurturing that relationship. Now what is really happening is that there is a divine push which is coming into picture, which is kind of awakening this person to see the potential of this connection. While they are seeing it, there is an understanding that yes, this connection is something that they should literally look forward and they should focus on, but then there is a lot of stuckness as well about what to choose, why to choose. Maybe this person is like, why should I do that, you know? Okay. As per pile number one, what do they think is happening for pile one? We have confusion, uncertain, unclear, and unsure. Like I said, you are moving out of the confusion, that uncertainty about what this connection is, why this connection is. The apology could also represents, them manipulating you, them being emotionally detached. What is really happening in this connection with pile one? What is really happening in this connection with pile one? Open heart, receptive, empathy, and vulnerable. And then we have hard fog here, mixed signals, blocked emotions, messed up. And I do want to clarify this devil energy. Clarify the devil. Boundaries. This person was emotionally detached. Could be emotionally manipulative, could be withholding emotions just to manipulate, just to gain their control on you. What is this apology about in the connecting energies? Thinking, missing you, craving, desiring. And then we have pride. Okay. Guys, I do feel that with this devil energy and with this apology, I'll tell you my spread. I'm talking about this spread. When you talk about this spread, this kind of represents someone is withholding emotion just to gain that control over the other person, right? Uh, Even though this person was missing you, or maybe you were missing this person, but they were never available to talk, they were never available to perhaps, have a discussion, meet, or show up in a relationship. Whenever you try to reach out to this person, they were like blocking your way. There were boundaries, right? And these boundaries are operating out of nothing else but with these two energies, which is about arrogance, ego, stubbornness, controlling. my way or the highway sort of a relationship. That is what is coming here. Okay. Now, what is really happening is that there is a divine push which is happening because we do have divine timing. I'm going to put it here. We do have divine timing here, right? And there is a high possibility that this person is being asked to take a leap of faith, to open their heart. That leap of faith is about to receive emotions, to give emotions, to be vulnerable. Do not be this detached from your own emotions and deny your feelings towards pile number one. That is what is coming out here. Okay, so maybe that this person is healing, you know. Let's just see what is the advice that is coming forward for you guys. What is the advice for pile number one? What is the advice for pile number one? We have lighthouse. Don't doubt your worth, which is number 20. Okay, so it says there will always be someone in your life who doubts the amazing things you are capable of. It is then that you must decide to be your biggest champion. Believe wholeheartedly in your own worth, regardless of the outside opinion. Feed yourself a steady diet that speaks to self love, self kindness, and self confidence. So no matter, because you've actually been through a lot, because these energies are quite heavy, which can lead to question your own self-worth. Like, am I really deserving of all of that? And you're not wrong when it comes to this apology card, pile number one. You're not wrong, because someone who's kind of operating out of ego, control, stubbornness, drawing boundaries just to exercise their control on you is not healed, I would say, is not healed. And it is not your job to fix them anyway. So you focus your energies onto yourself, and you have an understanding that all of this is happening because this person is not healed. They have to work on themselves, they have to learn to open their heart. There is nothing wrong with you. Okay, so this is what I have for you, pile number one. I'll see you in the next reading. You guys take care of yourself. Bye bye. Hey pal 2, so those of you who resonated with rushing and your zodiac signs are Aries, Capricorn, Cancer, and Scorpio, we are checking what do you think is happening versus what is really happening in this connection. So maybe you feel that this connection is rushed. Maybe you feel you don't know about this person enough. Maybe you feel that you need more time, or maybe you feel that this person needs more time. Um, let's see what is coming up on the other side. What is really happening for pile 2? What is really happening for pile 2? We have memories, bittersweet memories, reminiscing, dwelling, bittersweet. Okay. What is happening in this connection as per pile 2? We have waiting. Yeah. So you're kind of waiting for the right time so that you guys can come together. You feel perhaps you need some time together, or maybe you feel that you are rushing your person to be something more than what you really are. And now this person may be like, no, 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 we are kind of rushing thing, let's just wait for a while, and you are kind of waiting now. What is really happening for pile 2? Control, indecision, okay. Pile 2, what I feel here is that you are giving your person that space, that time, and that freedom to decide for themselves about what do they really want in life, right? And you still feel that if this person is meant to be, they will gonna come around. If they're not meant to be, there is no need for me to go forward and chase this person, because with this waiting energy here, you're kind of being very patient. You don't want to chase them, you don't want to prove your worth or anything of that sort. You're kind of like very much calm and centered, and you're connecting with your intuition, because we do have perfect divine timing, and we do have 4 and 3, which kind of reduces down to 7, which connects to intuition. And what your person is doing is basically control. What I feel here is that there is a lot of missing energy. What is really happening is like you are giving them time and space to think and feel how, what do they really want, and what this person is doing is just dwelling into your memories, missing you badly, and all of that sort. Let's check what are the connecting energies of this connection. What are the connecting energies of this connection for pile 2? Divine feminine. A lot of divine things are coming into picture, realizations. You may be having a realization that you could be dealing with a divine counterpart. This person could be your divine masculine, you could be divine feminine, or vice versa. You are kind of in your feminine energy and you're not chasing anymore. You're like waiting for them, giving them that space, holding that space for them, and you're waiting for the right divine timing to come in, perhaps. And what your person is doing is basically just controlling. What are they controlling? I have no idea. But to me, it looks like not reaching out. Because with this memories here, I do feel that there is a lot of missing energies. But control here sort of represents, no, I'm not going to reach out. No, I'm not going to reach out. I'm not going to reach out. So it's like, it's more like an affirmation. No, I don't have to reach out to pile 2. I don't have to reach out to pile 2. That's what is coming in picture. Sweet. Sweet, you guys. All right. So let's see. What do you think is happening, pile 2? What do you think is happening? 8 of Pentacles. What do you think is happening, pile 2? Oh, there we go. We have Empress, which is also divine feminine. Okay. What do you think is happening? 10 of Wands. And we do have 6 of Swords at the bottom. To me, it looks like you feel that this person is working on themselves. This person is also maybe, working on their nurturing side, which could be a feminine side, where they can express emotions, where they are open to love, giving as well as receiving. With this 10 of Wands, I feel they're clearing a lot of emotional baggage. Because we do have Six of Swords here, which shows transitioning and moving on, clearing out the karmas. This person is kind of moving on, perhaps taking all the lessons from the past and learning. And they're kind of maybe manifesting, you know. See how these are, there's all that moon, and it's more like, balancing, working on themselves, inner work. Inner work is something which is coming into picture from this card. This person could be working on their feminine side, which they were ignoring since long. It could also means nurturing a connection was more like a burden for this for this person, and now you feel that they are kind of realizing it. There are realizations which are coming into picture, and this person wants to work on this connection, which is sweet. Let's see what is really happening. What is really happening? We have 10 of Pentacles. What is really happening? It could be more like, what I feel here is that someone is balancing their chakras. Someone is trying to get some downloads. What is really happening in this connection? Four of Wands. Page of Cups. And we do have Nine of Wands. And can you see this Nine of Wands? It's like Under the Oak Tarot is basically based on a story where this girl, her name is Anima, and she's blind, and she's kind of accompanied by her friend who kind of shows her what is actually out there. So to me, it looks like that a person could be going through an awakening. They could be having certain realization about what they have done in the past, how they have been showing up in a relationship with this Page of Cups energy. Now, with this Four of Wands energy, I feel that there is, what do I feel here? It kind of represents celebrating something with this Four of Wands. It could be more like, this person could be working on different shadow self of themselves, and now they're coming out of it and they are realizing how free they are. There's a lot of fire energy which is coming up mixed with emotions. So I do feel like when you are talking about that, maybe this person is working on themselves, working on their feminine aspect, learning how to nurture this connection, learning how to nurture a relationship in general, then I feel that yes, you're kind of right. This person is going through an awakening. They are kind of working on their shadow self. And with Page of Cups, they are letting their emotions surface, letting them to feel something for you, pile 2. So that is definitely happening. What is happening in this connection as per pile 2? What is happening in this connection as per pile 2? Conflicted decisions, hot and cold, multiple choices. You feel that maybe releasing emotional baggages and everything is not that great, and maybe this person is still going through an awakening. They are still making decisions about how do they feel. They're kind of conflicted because of the awakening. They must be feeling a lot of confusion about how to tackle their emotions, because they had been shutting their emotions since long, so they don't know. Okay, what is really happening in this connection? Why do I get the same card? Wait, what is really happening in this connection? Okay, this one wants to come out. And this is healing. There you go. See, there were two cards. I was called to take out those cards, but and we do have beauty here. So this person could be very attracted towards you. With this Page of Cups, I also feel that this person could be obsessively thinking about you, daydreaming about you, Paltu. Because we do have divine feminine, and the connecting energy between your connection is also the feminine energy. Maybe both of you need to work on your feminine energy. Depends on who you are and what role do you play in this connection. Maybe one of you needs to nurture this connection, learn how to express themselves, and one of you has to be okay, free of attachments, learn to love freely. While you feel that they're still conflicted, there's still a lot of hot and cold energies, they're not going to come forward, and perhaps all this while, because we do have waiting here. But what is really happening is, yes, this person is going through an awakening, yes, they are releasing an emotional baggage, and they are healing. So that healing is definitely happening, which is great, which is great. Okay, so let's see what is your advice here now. Pile 2. What is pile 2's advice? What should pile 2 do in this connection, in this situation? We have feather. Think first before you judge. And that's number 26. So it says, did you commit to lifting up one of your sisters only to drop her down into the blaze? Examine the situation. Is your judgment justified, or is the society tricking you into your stance? After all, it does have a habit of making you believe that the other girls are your competition and that they must behave perfectly at all times. Step back and take the time to figure it out. It's not always clear at first, instead of acting rashly. Now, okay, the message might not come across, but what I get from this situation is that think first before you judge, in the sense that, see, your advice here is, no, I'm not talking about this person, first of all, pile number 1, 2, sorry. There is another piece of advice which is coming for you. I'm just getting some other download. Okay. Your advice here is something, okay, that's great. Great advice. Your advice here is that, pile 2, don't judge the entire situation, this relationship, or this person based on what you were doing in the past, or based on how society or your friends think that how a relationship should be, right? Before you make your own judgment, when you stand tall and when you say that this relationship is different and you don't want, I'm assuming it's just an example, let's just see, you don't want to marry this person, perhaps you just want to live in with this person, all right, and you don't want to go forward in a traditional sort of a setup, and you don't want to get married. Now that is your own judgment, pile 2, but because you live in a society, your parents, your family, your friends could basically influence you to change your stance, saying that living is fine, but there is no guarantee. We do need a piece of paper to have a guarantee, right? But earlier you were like, no, in my heart and in my intuition, I know that this is my person and living just fine. Living together is just fine. But yeah, I think they're right. I do need a piece of paper as a confirmation that this person is for me. Now, that is something that you're judging the situation based on history, based on people's beliefs, and not your own intuition, right? So, think first before you judge means don't let other people influence you. You have to trust your own intuition. Okay, pile number 2. This is what I have for you. Whoa, sometimes these advices come in a little bit heavy. Little bit heavy. All right, thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next reading. You guys take care of yourself. Those of you who resonated with losing yourself and your zodiac signs are Leo, Sagittarius, Pisces, and Virgo, this is going to be your reading. We are checking what do you think is happening versus what is really happening in this connection. All right, so let's see what is really happening in this connection. We have bitterness here. That is resentment, anger, hurtful words. You feel here that you're losing yourself in this connection. And this person feel that there is a bitterness here. What is really happening is that someone is holding on to the bitterness, someone is holding on to the anger. What does pile number 3 thinks is happening in this connection? We have confusion. What is really happening in this connection? We have vision. Maybe you guys are not aligned. Maybe you guys are fighting too much. There's a lot of conflict. You feel that you will going to lose yourself in this connection, and while this person feels that you guys are just not aligned with each other when it comes to maybe your feelings or your relationship in general, perhaps you guys could be having some communication issues, like even though both of you would want to be with each other, it's like you just can't see eye to eye. All right, what are the connecting energies of this connection? What are the connecting energies of this connection? I do feel here, one second, pile number 3, I do feel here that the confusion is surrounding taking action, because you do feel that if you take action, you will gonna lose a part of you. It could be more like your self-respect. What is the connecting energy here? Silence. Yeah, you guys are not talking to each other. You guys are not talking to each other, and how these birds are not there, and that's kind of building up the resentment breaking point. And your confusion is definitely towards taking action, going forward. Because if you go forward, there is a high possibility that you guys might just align and you guys might just start a relationship together. And you are like, am I going to lose myself if I start something with pile number 3, with them? Sorry. All right, let's just find out through tarot what is coming up. Okay. Pile number 3. What do you think is happening in this connection? Pile number 3. We have Hermit. What do you think is happening in this connection? It kind of shows a little bit of awakening, introspection. What do you think is happening in this connection? We have 10 of Pentacles and we have 5 of Cups. We have King of Wands. You think maybe this person has isolated themselves and not really talking to anyone, not engaging with anyone, even with you, pile number 3. Maybe this person is missing you, but they are missing over the opportunity that they have gotten with you, but they did not take that opportunity. Perhaps that is something which is kind of coming into picture. It's more like a self-sabotaging sort of a behavior, and there is an introspection that is going on. Yeah, you feel that this person is definitely realizing that there was a potential, there was an opportunity to make something beautiful, but they did not take it, and they are kind of realizing their mistake now. All right, what is really happening? What is really happening? What is really happening in this connection for pile 3? Too many cards. What is really happening in this connection for pile 3? So we have 9 of Wands. We have the Hierophant. Oh my God. Wow. What is really happening for pile 3? I've gotten the 2 cards here. 6, 8 of Swords and the Hermit. So I'm going to take both of them here. Pile number 3, let me tell you, what you think is happening is definitely not happening here. Because these cards, to me, it looks like spiritual awakening in general. See, Hierophant is also about connecting yourself with the higher power, connecting yourself with the divine. It is also a card of spirituality. It is also a card where someone is having that wisdom to be a great counselor, perhaps, someone who's influential enough to sit on the throne, someone who's kind of having an awakening, how there is this awakening that is going on. And with this Hermit card here and with this 8 of Swords sort of represents something that's very binding, something that's limited, something that is, refrained, inhibited. And Hermit card sort of represents like, what is it that is inhibiting this person from maybe moving on? Maybe it could be like this person is kind of reflecting on things that they have said to you, things that they have done to you, and they're kind of having an awakening about, why did I do this? What is it that I need to do so that I can release all of this? Wow, that's great. So what you feel is definitely not what is happening. Yes, they are reflecting on certain things, but yeah, the missing energy, I don't see that happening. I see a lot of growth. I see a lot of introspection. I see a lot of focus inward, right? That is what is coming here. Now let's find out some more. Pile 3, what do you think is happening in this connection? Pile 3, what do you think is happening in this connection? Time, waiting, cycles, moments. Maybe you guys are repeating certain cycle. Maybe there is, you feel that this person is waiting for you to come back. Maybe this person, and we do have five of cups here, so you do feel that this person is missing you, missing on the opportunity with you. They're kind of waiting for you to come back. They may be, waiting for some introspection to happen and then go forward so that you guys don't repeat the same cycle again. What is really happening in this connection for pile 3? What is really happening in this connection for pile 3? Confessions, unveiling, coming clean, and messages. And we do have past life, which is like repeated patterns, karmic connections, karmic lessons. Maybe this person with this confession card here, maybe this person has accepted how they feel. Maybe this person has accepted the karmic connection, the repeated cycle. Maybe, they have accepted that this connection will going to be like this, you know. Or what is really happening is that, because I don't feel like them reaching out to you, pile number 3, because with the cards here don't suggest what is really happening is kind of coming clean and messages. It is more like confessing and accepting their own feelings towards you, towards this connection, and they are kind of working on themselves, working on themselves in the sense like with this Eight of Swords energy, they're freeing themselves from this Eight of Swords energy. The confessions, to me, it kind of looks like what was binding them, was what was making them attached to you. That is something that is coming forward. What is really happening in this connection for pile 3? I just want to take one more card. What is really happening in this connection for pile 3? We have Divine Masculine. You know what? I had a feeling that something like this was gonna come out. Like this feeling was so strong in pile number 2, the feminine energy. But just as I saw losing yourself, confusion, vision, I feel that something like this will just gonna pop up. Maybe this person is working on their masculine energy. Maybe this person is working on taking accountability, because masculine energy is not about anger, resentment, hurtful words. Masculine energy is something which is very selfless. You see, everyone who is not wounded in their masculine energy, all the gender doesn't have a role to play, but every person who associate themselves with a masculine energy, a healthy masculine energy, are very selfless, and they take accountability, and they're very action oriented, they're very passionate, they're very ambitious, they're very go-getter. So maybe this person is kind of working on their masculine energy, about taking accountability, about taking action to free themselves. Okay, all right. So let's just see one piece of advice for you. Pile number 3. Advice for pile 3. Take a chance on them. Pile number 3. Oh, that's such a sweet card. Take a chance on them. Okay, if anyone has a reason to keep their guard up, it's you. People have been known to mistreat you, and like any rational person, you finally got tired of it. Went back inside, locked the door. But you weren't supposed to stay out of the rain forever. No matter how terrifying the prospect may seem, you need to put yourself out there again. Whoever it is you're thinking of, they can be trusted to walk with you through the storm. Wow, that's beautiful. So pile number 3, you've been asked to literally let your guard down and give them a chance to make something beautiful here. If and not operate out of this Eight of Swords mindset, don't feel that you could lose yourself in this situation, because if you feel like you will going to lose yourself, you have to communicate it with your person that I don't want to lose myself, I want my freedom, and someone who's aligned, because I do see vision here, right, where both of you are not aligned. Both of you want it, but you are not aligned. And with this, what is happening here, there is a lot of healing which is coming forward. So perhaps it's your time as well to end this confusion and have maybe, break down this wall, stone wall, break down the stone wall and communicate. Okay? Or don't communicate. I mean, that's all up to you. That's all up to you, pile number 3. All right, so this is what I have for you. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next reading. Bye bye.